Yeah, I'm new to Nova Sutras.
And Susan, all sorts of lovely new people.
Yes. Susan and I know Michelle from a class we took through Joanna Macy's group a year ago. Yeah.
It's a year ago. Wow.
Wasn't it a year, February, right?
Yeah.
Before all hell broke loose.
Yeah.
And it was another world.
Okay, I think we're set. And yeah, we are now also streaming live on YouTube, just so you know, there might be additional audience. This is the 4th December solstice that Nova Sutras has done, and the first 2 were just live on YouTube, so trying to keep up that tradition of the YouTube live stream. And then, and then we discovered Zoom, and thankfully got pretty okay at it in 2019. And here we go, 2020. Seems like life is on Zoom now. So
there was a gentleman on here a few minutes ago. Did he leave? Or am I just not seeing him?
Well, we've got Derek.
Oh, I don't see him. Let's see. Oh, because I don't have gallery view. There we go.
Okay. And welcome. I see there's a few new faces here and some familiar faces, and I'm delighted to see all of you. So to let you know a little bit about what to expect for today, we will be doing a meditation session sort of as the centerpiece of what we're doing. So you'll want to try to arrange so you don't have too many distractions during that if you can. So yeah, we are streaming live on YouTube. So be cognizant of that in terms of what you decide to share. And, let me know if so you're feeling very called to share something and you want me to stop the live stream later on. And I can do that. So as we're settling in, we might have a few more people who signed up who haven't arrived yet. So we'll talk a little bit about Nova Sutras, especially for those of you who this is your first Nova Sutras event. And we'll spend a little time explaining the solstice from both a scientific and spiritual perspective. And we'll explain these terms of Gaia and Ubuntu. Then we'll do a practice of calling the corners. Then we'll include, if you have a candle at hand, you can include the candle as part of calling the corners. Don't worry if you don't, but if you can grab one very quickly, feel free, but otherwise, don't worry, you can hold the light in your heart rather than a candle. And hopefully those who hold the candle will do both. Then after we call the corners, we'll settle in for a guided meditation. And part of what we're going to be doing during that guided meditation is focusing in our hearts on, using these terms of Gaia and Ubuntu, which again, I'll give you a more detailed explanation later, but it's essentially about reverence and loving kindness and connection. And after calling the corners and kind of sending that out to all beings, we're going to focus actually probably at 2 specific places on Earth where the sun is overhead right now, which is in the South Pacific, and where the sun will be overhead at the moment of the solstice, which is in South Africa. I'll explain a little bit about that. We're going to focus our energy there, and from there, really shine out this energy of Gaia and Ubuntu to all beings. After the meditation, we'll have some time to talk about the experience and answer further questions. And we'll also do a little bit of a closing, a little bit of a post-meditation ritual and then also a closing ritual. So meanwhile, please check in with us, which can, in some Nova Sutras events, is a fairly extensive part of what we do, is just building community by telling each other where we are in our hearts and minds. In the case of this solstice ritual, we're going to keep this part very brief. So I invite you to tell us actually where you are on the globe and just offer one thing that you're grateful about that you find where you are on the globe this time of year. So it could be something about people, it could be something about nature, but something that is typical to this time of year, where you are right now. So I'll model this. And again, we're going to keep these nice and brief. So I'll model this. My name's Michelle. I'm in the mountains near Santa Cruz, California. And a thing I love about this time of year is the low light coming through the redwood trees. So I'm going to call people and kind of go around so we can keep this moving. So Barbara, why don't you go first?
Okay, my name is Barbara and I live in Santa Rosa, California. And I'm just grateful for the sun on my face at this moment. And I just came back from an 1.5-hour bike ride, and it just, the fresh air, no fires, and I feel safe. Yes.
Great. And Susan.
My name's Susan. I'm in Western Massachusetts in the valley of the Connecticut River, the town of Northampton. And the sun is going down, night's coming here now. I'm very grateful to be in a safe, beautiful place. We just had a really big snowstorm, and it's the first snowstorm, being a California girl, that I've ever really experienced. And I'm grateful for its beauty. Mm-hmm.
And let's see, next on my screen, how about Imani?
Hi, I'm Imani. I'm in Sacramento right now. Yeah, what I like most about this time, I haven't really grown up liking it, but now I'm liking the crispness of the air. It's just kind of refreshing. So I'm trying to appreciate that this season more than I have in the past. But yeah, the sun as well, always, but yeah, mostly the crispness.
And how about Kimberly?
Hi, my name is Kimberly. I live in the Santa Cruz Mountains by Mount Madonna, and I'm at 2,500 feet. And my favorite, most peaceful time of year is the fall and winter. And a special time of year for me is when I hear the first frogs come out at this time. So there's a seasonal pond, and after the first rain, when I hear the first frogs, it just brings such a seasonal love to my heart, and it means that they're coming out to say hello while other things are going to sleep, and I value that deeply.
Thanks, Kimberly. Benny, can you check in with us?
Hi, yes, so good to be here with everyone. I am in Seabright, Santa Cruz, California, formerly the village of Yuwipi. And I am I love this time of year. It is, I love the crisp, fresh air. I love the rain, and I'm holding a lot of, yeah, really praying for some more rain, and very grateful to be collecting fungi against in relationship with this land. Yeah, collected a new delicious and one of the most beautiful species up in the Santa Cruz foothills a few days ago that I is a new one for me, and I was just, it's just a wonderful thing. Yeah, so the fungi kind of mark this time of year for me, showing us that they're always there. Come out when they're ready.
Thanks, Benny. And how about Antoinette? Can you check in with us?
Hi, everyone. I'm actually not very far from Susan. I'm in the Berkshires, so not very far from Northampton. And I also want to piggyback on what Imani and I forget his name that just shared.
Benny.
Benny, thank you. I love the crisp air right now. I spent the last winter in South Florida, so to be here this winter is very different, and I'm really enjoying the beauty. As Susan mentioned, it's just so beautiful. The snow and the smell of the fresh air is just so invigorating. And my dog and I just came off of a dog walk, and we had a great time running up and down the sidewalks and into the park, and just enjoying that snow. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Antoinette.
Grateful to be here.
Thanks. And Derek, can you check in? Oh, we're not hearing you.
There we go. Now?
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calling in from San Jose, California, and I don't even visit snow. And, y'all are bigger people than me. Don't even want to do that. And as much as I love the sun, I'm kind of missing the rain. So kind of wish we had a little more rain here in California at this point. Grateful that I am still seeing one of my power animals, the hummingbird, on a regular basis. So thank you.
And how about Stone Singer?
Yeah, that's
Beautiful.
my spirit name. I'm also Kathy. I am here on Ohlone occupied land in El Sobrante, Richmond. And what I love about this time of the year is that first big rain, like a lot of rain, and you just listen to it hitting the earth. I love that. And then the way everything smells afterwards. So I'm really grateful for rain when it comes, and seeing it happening more and more. Thank you.
Thanks. And Leoma. Oh, you're muted.
Right. Well, I grew up in Connecticut, and I am very grateful for having experienced the snow and all that as a young person. I'm grateful not to be experiencing it now. I did live a little while in the foothills of Santa Cruz, and I do remember those frogs, and I feel gratitude that I had time of hearing the frogs and feeling the native trees just soak in the rain and go green, and I could just feel this time of year being one when the rains came. They would just sink into it with gratitude. And being down in the city of Santa Cruz, I'm grateful for being able to see the hummingbirds and some monarch flying by this morning. So.
And Jennifer, I think we've had you yet. Go ahead.
I'm Jennifer. I'm in the Sandhills in Santa Cruz, and we're watching a little change of the guard with the birds. So the pine siskins are in, and the rabbit grass is coming up and the moss. So when you're on the sand, there's certain things, if they have the space for it, you'll see the mosses and rabbit grasses, little tiny grasses coming up. It's not quite like fields. It's a little different, but very, what happens after we get a little rain. I'm grateful to see them.
Oh. So I'm going to just pause a moment and recognize how much beauty we all live in, and just kind of take in that gratitude. And so much of it is recognizing that it's dynamic. It's not the same every day. Things keep changing. So thank you all for sharing that little bit of poem. Leoma.
I just want to say I have to take off for about a half an hour in the middle and I'll be back. But
all right. Yeah. Just yeah, as you go and as we settle in, it's probably a good idea to keep your microphone muted most of the time. So I want to start telling you a little bit about Nova Sutras and what we're about, and I'm going to use some slides to help me do that, so bear with me for just a moment here. So in Nova Sutras, one of the things we're trying to do is really bring together science and spirituality, giving us an opportunity to co-create practices that really celebrate the wedding of our rational, emotional, intuitive, and spiritual selves. Bringing all of that together in full recognition of the beauty and power of nature. So we celebrate the solstices, equinoxes, and cross quarters in part because these are amazing planetary phenomena about the interaction between our home planet and our sun. The times of the solstices are the times when the sun is over these lines we call the Tropic of Capricorn right now, or the Tropic of Cancer in June. And what that means is the sun is at its most extreme, its farthest apparently north or south for those of us here on Earth. That's going to happen at a very specific time when the sun gets the very farthest south it gets all year. And that is about 12 hours, a little over 12 hours from right now, at 2 in the morning, local time for me. So I decided not to do it right then, but instead to celebrate 12 hours early. We experience the seasons because of the way that the earth tilts and the sun sometimes being angled in a way that looks more direct and therefore more closely, directly overhead from wherever we are. So it sounds like all of us are here in the Northern Hemisphere, and this is our winter solstice. It's the shortest day of the year. The sun is the lowest in the southern sky today. So the solstices are times where you find religious celebrations all around the world because this is a planetary phenomenon, because this is something all humans recognize. It's so evident. One of the things that we notice is it almost feels like the motion of the sun northward and southward really slows down and seems to almost stop at the solstices. That's the origin of the name, is sun standing. So it's really a couple of days before and after the solstice where it seems the sun is frozen in this southernmost location. But in the coming days, we'll start to see it moving back north again. So here we'll notice the days getting longer. It will continue to be colder because there's this delay. It's been darker and darker, and the soils and the waters around us have received less and less energy from the sun. So they're getting colder and colder, and that's how we notice this winter coming on. So the coldest days are ahead, but they will be longer days and brighter days. In the southern hemisphere, this is the beginning of summer because the sun is more directly shining there. And the place that it will shine when it reaches this line of the Tropic of Capricorn is right over southern Africa. This is especially fortuitous and significant for Nova Sutras because one of the words that we've chosen to celebrate, well, let me skip ahead a little bit. One of the words that we celebrate in our gatherings and rituals is Ubuntu, and this is a word that comes from the languages of Southern Africa. And Ubuntu is a word for connection and interdependence, mutuality, sometimes described as I am because we are. And it's a phenomenon that we see all around in nature, this interdependence, creating conditions that support others, working to help one another. We see this in the way that pollinators help plants with their reproduction. We see this in the way that plants produce the oxygen that animals need to breathe. They capture the energy from the sun in a form that animals can eat. Everywhere we see these expressions of Ubuntu. Another thing that's special just to this particular solstice is that it is also the time of what they're calling the Great Conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn are, from the perspective of Earth, the closest they have been in about 800 years. So tonight and tomorrow night, they will look nearly like one bright star. From here in the Northern Hemisphere, it will look like it's in the southwest sky. And it'll be visible just after sunset. In fact, probably right at sunset, you'll start to see the brilliance of those planets. So again, we're getting all of these reminders about coming together, about community, about Ubuntu. Now, the other term, and again, Ubuntu, it comes from these languages of Southern Africa. And so you'll see that term around. As Barbara was pointing out, there was actually a vegan restaurant called Ubuntu, which I think is pretty cool. Another term that we use to try to capture what's actually a fairly complex idea. Just to think a little bit about what the day will look like in Southern Africa. And will take us into a little bit more visualization of that as we go through our guided meditation. But just honoring that place. And all of the beauty that lives there. So this other term, agaya, this is a new word that comes from the merger, the connection, the joining of two really important concepts. One is this term agape, which in Christianity and a lot of other traditions is recognized as the kind of universal transcendent love, the love of the Spirit. And we're merging that term agape with the term Gaia. Gaia is the Greek name for the earth goddess, but it's also used in science with the Gaia theory to recognize the way that life creates conditions that support ever more complex and beautiful and interconnected life. This basic property of emerging creativity that is true for all living beings and the way that living beings interact, making the whole of the biosphere essentially one great superorganism. So when we say agaya, we're expressing our wonder and awe and reverence for the incredible beauty and creative power of all life. So I'd like us to start this practice of calling the corners and to celebrate the solstice, this time of the sun holding still, this time of a dramatic difference between light and dark. This is a good time for lighting candles, and many celebrations, particularly for those celebrating winter solstice right now, many of the celebrations include a lighting of candles or lamps. So to call the corners today, I'm going to invite you, if you have a candle at hand, to get it lit. And very carefully, let's not start any fires, hold it out to the compass directions as we go around the circle. And because I'm where it's midday, I'm going to start with the south. And the south for me is actually back this way. Well, kind of that way. Let's try that. Is that any better? Maybe. Okay. So as we call the corners, what we're doing is we're sending out wishes of wellness to all beings in that direction and opening ourselves to the sacred. So it's a way to kind of find our spiritual address. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, the sun is hanging out in the south. So starting there, may all beings to the south abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. And then the west, where the sun will set, may all beings to the west abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. And then to the north, may all beings to the north abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. And then to the east, may all beings to the east abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. And then may all beings above abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. May all beings below abide in Agaya and Ubuntu. Now I invite you to just hold your candle in front of you. And we're going to start with ourselves and then kind of radiate that light and love of Gaia and Ubuntu out from where we are. So first, may each one of us abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. May all the beings near us abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. May all the beings in our watersheds abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. May all the beings in our bioregions abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. May all the beings on our continent, all of us here on Turtle Island, abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. May all of the beings in the world's great oceans abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. And may all beings belonging to Earth's beautiful, bountiful, beneficent biosphere abide in a Gaia and Ubuntu. Now, you may wish to put your candle somewhere safe where you can watch it during the meditation if you like that. Or again, do something safe with it for if you prefer to have your eyes closed for meditation. So get yourself comfortable, settle in, and then either softly focus on your candle or just lower your eyes, close them if you'd like. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Let your body settle. Feel the way your weight is supported by the earth. And just relax into that loving embrace. Feel that connection to the ground beneath you. Feel the way the earth supports you, holds you steady. Feel the way it lifts you up. Feel the rising and falling of your breath. Feel your connection to the sky above you, filling you with light. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. And then let it out. Let the breath move in and out of you. And let each exhale just take away any tension you may be holding. And on your next inhale, just feel the way that nourishing oxygen comes in and lights up all the cells in your body. Filling you with the loving energy from those amazing photosynthesizers, capturing sunlight, making this oxygen that nourishes you. Feel each inhale as a loving gift from the plants, from the little bacterial cyanobacteria in the oceans, capturing so much light and so much carbon, creating sweetness, creating oxygen. Our friends and allies working together, making this earth as beautiful, as habitable as they possibly can. Each breath a gift of a Gaia and Ubuntu from the plants to us in the animal kingdom. Ubuntu expands our awareness of connection, of interbeing. With Ubuntu in our hearts, we are always in gratitude for all of these amazing beings that enrich our life, that make our life possible. How beautiful that the people of the south of Africa recognized this interdependence, this co-arising. What Thich Nhat Hanh called interbeing. And they embraced it as a fundamental principle and gave it this beautiful word, Ubuntu. This lovely expression of community, and togetherness. Everywhere in the world, these interconnections and interdependencies exist. As you breathe in, take in all of these beautiful gifts of Ubuntu. Feel yourself held in this vast, loving community of life on earth. And thank the trees, the plants, all of these living green things on our beloved earth for providing us with the oxygen we breathe in and for taking in the carbon that we exhale. Bound together in this beautiful reciprocity of life. All of that gratitude, the wonder and reverence we feel to be held in such a vast, complex, and lovely place. This tremendous biosphere community. Just let that wonder sink into your heart and open you up. And that feeling of awe and joy, of both humbleness at how tiny we are and expansiveness of being a part of something so huge. That is feeling a Gaia. Allow all that wonder and joy to just wash over you, move through you. And feel how every living thing, every act of life is an expression of a Gaia. All these molecules dancing together in every cell of every being on earth, lit with sacred fire, just as the stars themselves glow with the energy of creation. This amazing, expansive, beautiful universe. And just open yourself to that sacred joy of a Gaia. A Gaia expresses the deep sense of wonder we feel when we catch the scent of pine in the air. When we see a bird flying gracefully overhead, when we hear the crashing waves of a stormy ocean, or the hush of a deep snowfall, when we feel the warmth of a friend's hand, when we gaze up into a clear night sky filled with distant stars, this is our profound connection, our participation in the sacred beauty of our universe. Hold this sacred joy in the center of your being. As you inhale, draw in all of the wonder and joy that you can possibly hold. And as you exhale, send that out as a gift back to the universe, back to all living beings. Inhaling wonder and joy, exhaling gratitude for interconnection. Inhaling Agaya, exhaling Ubuntu. Inhaling Agaya, exhaling Ubuntu. Our miraculous home planet Earth, filled with wonder. It travels around our sun in this wide ellipse. But the sun is traveling as well, orbiting the center of the galaxy. So the Earth and the other planets, including lovely Jupiter and Saturn, who we'll see dancing together tonight. We're all in this spiral dance, moving around our moving sun, moving around our galaxy, traveling through an expanding universe of beauty and wonder. And here, as we dance in this winding helix through space-time, we are approaching that moment that we call the solstice. Right now, the sun is very near the Tropic of Capricorn, where it's most directly overhead right now is the South Pacific, near Tahiti. So if we were on a little coral atoll there in the middle of the Pacific, a brilliant midday sun would be directly overhead. we would cast virtually no shadow on the sand beneath our feet. All of that light pouring in from above. Feel that light and energy moving into you. And with the alchemy of life and love, right in your center, in your heart space. Feel it transform into an offering of gratitude and joy and wonder. That brilliant light and warmth pouring into you. And let it shine forth from your heart as wishes for a Gaia and Ubuntu for all beings. Imagine we are standing in a circle together, sending a Gaia and Ubuntu out in brilliant waves from our hearts. Reaching out with wishes of a Gaia and Ubuntu to all the beings of the deep and wide Pacific Ocean. Reaching out with wishes of a Gaia and Ubuntu to all the beings touched by the light of this sun. Reaching out with wishes of a Gaia and Ubuntu for all the beings in the dark of Earth's night. The whole of the world's biosphere embraced by this glowing network of loving kindness. And we follow the journey of the path that the sun will take, moving westward from there. Across the Southern Ocean, south of India, to where it will be at the precise moment of the solstice, a little less than 12 hours from now. The home of Ubuntu, the beauty of South Africa. Envision that now. The southern summer, lit by a brilliant sun right overhead. And again, see us all meditating together there with this light of a Gaia and Ubuntu shining forth from our hearts. Spreading out with gratitude, with wishes for wellness and joy to all the peoples of the south of Africa, to all the peoples across that great continent. Shining out to the Indian Ocean, to the Atlantic Ocean, Filling that whole hemisphere with light and love, with a Gaia and Ubuntu. And again, feel that Agaya and Ubuntu moving all the way around the world. And feel ourselves connected and a part of that light, part of that love. Receiving and sending, always reciprocating Agaya and Ubuntu with all beings. All around our beautiful, precious, fragile, miraculous, powerful home world. We take in the energy of this solstice sun, and we send it out as wishes for Agaya and Ubuntu. All around our beautiful earth. Imagine this light of Agaya and Ubuntu shining forth from our lovely little home world, spiraling as we travel around the sun, as we travel around our galaxy. This lovely helical path of joy and wonder, of awe and kindness and love and compassion. Now, let yourself begin to settle back down into your body. Feel the way that Agaya and Ubuntu, connection and love, wonder and joy are coming into you. Settling in your heart space. This inner jewel of beauty, loving kindness, joy, reverence, gratitude that you can keep in your heart, always there for you to connect with, always a part of us. And as you hold that beautiful energy inside you, feel it reaching into every part of your body, down your arms and legs, out to your fingers and toes. And as you feel it lighting up your fingers and toes, start to let a little motion in. Just wiggle the fingers and toes. Feel their life, feel their energy. Feel the life and energy and movement in your hands and feet, in your arms and legs, in your hips and shoulders. Feel the energy of Agaya and Ubuntu moving up and down your spine, into your neck and head. Let it light up your face. And when you're ready, with great compassion and care and gentleness, come back to the place you are and very gently open your eyes. Thank you for sharing in this solstice celebration of Agaya and Ubuntu. Thank you for the love that you send out into the world. Thank you for taking the time to nourish yourself with this practice. Because in caring for ourselves, we are caring for the community. We are enhancing our strength to do the work that the world calls us to do. So thank you for all that you do as an agent of Agaya and Ubuntu in the world. In a moment, we'll open up for conversation. And I just want to remind us that in Nova Sutras, we agree that when we speak, we're going to share as honestly and authentically as possible. And when we listen, we're going to listen with our full hearts. So we are still live on YouTube. But I want to invite you now, if there's something that came to you that you want to share from this meditation. You're open for that right now. No need to, but if you're ready to, if you're feeling called to, just go ahead and unmute yourself and speak into the space.
I wanted to say thank you. And it was wonderful to picture in my mind the reality of the world and my place in it. It's very gratifying. Thanks.
sorry. It looks like I got kicked off for a little bit, and I'm still not hearing anyone. But feel free to unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, I'm so glad to be sharing the space with you all, and hopefully, yeah, just the lots of other people celebrating the solstice, you know, maybe in 12 hours before. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot of gratitude right now. Just to even, yeah, like you mentioned, Michelle, like take care of myself and re-energize to keep doing the work that the earth so much needs us to do right now. So thank you everyone for sharing that with the space.
Thanks, Imani.
I also want to thank this group for taking time out of their day to just appreciate this amazing universe. And those pictures were just stunning. To see how the sun, we're just this teeny little dot in the middle of this amazing universe, and yet it's everything to us. It made me remember who was the astronaut that said, I just put my thumb and it covers anything that, all that I love in the world. He covered the earth with his thumb for a minute. And what it felt like, the importance, and as well as the fleetingness of life, all here at the same time. And to just be with that, the importance and the fleetingness, it's all true. It feels all true. Mm-hmm. So Michelle, I just want to thank you for doing this. And I know this is the fourth time you've done it. Is that what you said? Yeah.
For the December solstice. So
for the December solstice. And I'm just happy to be here. And yeah. And to have all of you with me. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that I am just always very overwhelmed when we go into the meditation with your guidance, Michelle. It's just, I don't even know what to do. I do a lot of vocalizations, but it's just never enough to give the energy of and vibration of wonder, joy, love, and at the same time a sense of like overwhelming longing. It fills my body so much that it's overwhelming, and it's very powerful, and it's yeah, it's just something that maybe the longing is that I long for all of humanity to know this, and it's so yeah, I guess I just feel the limits of myself and my body in the context of so much, that we are in place here in and with. So thank you for bringing that to me and us. And I really hope that we can continue to support you as you share this great gift in a good way.
Thank you. Are there others who have something that they want to share now? I'll just hold a little more space for that. And if not, we can move on. Now, in the invitations I sent out, one of the things, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how frozen I am for you, but if you're hearing me okay, I had invited us all, if you wished, to bring an item or an object that represents the last 6 months for you, so the time since the June solstice. So my intention is to invite us to focus on those for just a moment. You can pick yours up if it's near you. And I'm not sure how much of this you're hearing because everything looks frozen to me.
Michelle, it's good. We can hear you and you're not frozen.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks, Barbara. That helps. So if you have an object that you brought that holds something important about the last 6 months, go ahead and pick that up if it's appropriate, or just focus on it for a bit. If you don't have an object, that's fine. I invite you to just think about something important that's representative of the last 6 months. It might be something that brings you joy. It might be something that connects to some pain. Oh, thank you, Stone Singer. Thanks for being here. But I invite you to just put a little focus on it. And without telling the story, just see if there's a word or two that's emerging from that. Something about the lesson from that important thing. Just listen for that word. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and speak that into the space or type that word into chat.
I have two words: change and continuity.
Mm.
I've got healing and restorative.
Open.
Soothing.
Oh, there were two at once. I didn't get to hear them. Try again. Kimberly first.
Okay. Soothing.
Okay. Still couldn't quite hear. I'm
Soothing
sorry.
was one of them.
Soothing. Okay, thank you.
Accepting.
And accepting. Great. And Antoinette, were you trying to say something also?
Yeah, I was just saying grateful and happy.
I heard grateful
Happy.
and happy. Oh. I've got release and regeneration. Any others?
New friends.
Any others? So the solstice is this time where the sun pauses. And it's a good time for us to pause a little bit, to think about the turning, maybe the great turning for those of you familiar with that term. But changing direction, maybe heading back, and yet it's never the same river twice. It's always something new. So as we pause before turning, what are the things we want to keep with us? And what are the things we're ready to leave behind? And I'll let us just reflect for a moment. Things to keep, things to carry forward. Things to set down, things to leave behind us. Maybe this is in your personal life. Maybe this is us as a community. Maybe as a species. What are we keeping? What do we want to carry forward with us? And what are we letting go of? What are we ready to leave behind us?
Well, I'm ready to leave fear behind. That is for sure. And I'm ready to go forward with faith that all is well and all is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Hmm. I may not know why. It doesn't mean I don't put energy where it's needed, but there's also some acceptance that I take forward. Yeah.
Barbara, your examples were two of the ones I wrote down. I think the fear and faith are so important. Yeah. I feel like I want to leave grief behind and replace it with hope.
Yeah.
Because, with everything, especially that this group knows is going on, it's not over until it's over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got to keep the hope and faith alive.
Kimberly, I'd like for the world to release otherness and to retain authentic inclusion, joy, and happiness.
And again, you're certainly not obliged to share, but if something is inside you that wants to speak out, please feel free right now.
I'm really holding the carrying forward of devotion and dedication and drive, and releasing compulsion and obsession.
Those are two I was going to come up with. Obsession and compulsion, avoiding, denial. I'd like to leave behind hate and meanness, ignorance, ugliness. Go forward with love, beauty, gratitude, appreciation, courage, honesty.
Laughter, and lightheartedness.
And yeah, I also am trying to let go of that anxiety and fear and sense of heaviness of obligation, and trying to carry forward Ubuntu, really gratitude for community and doing it together. Anything else anyone wants to share about what we carry forward and what we leave behind? All right. Well, we're at our semi-official closing time, and I want to make sure to take a few moments and tell you a little bit about Nova Sutras and what's coming up next. But then we'll just keep this channel open. I'll do as well as I can with my internet connection. And if we want to have just more time to just socialize like you do, then we'll do that as well. So I'm going to share some more slides with you, so bear with me on that. So, welcome and thank you for being part of this Nova Sutra celebration. We are trying to offer a good space for community that's really dedicated to bringing Gaia and Ubuntu into the world in large and small ways. If you want to support our work, of course, financial help is always quite welcome. But we also really need people like some of you on the call already who have some time and can really step out and help with the work that needs to be done to kind of build community and keep this growing. We are just a little over 3 years old as anything recognizable as an organization. So we're just getting started, and there's plenty of things to learn and things to do. One of the things that's no. So if you can think of someone who would appreciate an event like this, just tell them about what we're up to. Thanks, Kimberly. And what we're up to is lots more online events. I'm now offering Insight Timer live events as well. So that's if you use the Insight Timer app, you can look for the Nova Sutras and you'll find a live meditation similar to the one we did today that I'll do tomorrow morning, sort of on the other side of the solstice moment. Every Monday and Thursday at 11 Pacific time, we have open discussions, and you're welcome to join those anytime you want to be part of community conversations. A lot of the work lately has been focused around eviction and what that means for children in the US. And so that's probably a theme that's going to be coming up a lot more. Thank you, Antoinette. We'll if you like, we'll put you on the list and keep in touch with you that way. You can also go to novasutras.org/events and sign up to get our event emails The next one, like this one, we do these, as I said, 8 times a year. So on the solstices, the equinoxes, and then the points in between those, the cross quarters. So the next cross quarter is on February 3rd, and we'll do a little celebration for that. Again, the timing's not great for me. At 6:40 a.m., I'm not quite ready to lead a meditation. So we'll start at 9 on February 3rd. And you can already register for that. On our website, you can also subscribe for, like I said, there's a weekly event listing, and that will include also our newsletter 8 times a year, or you can subscribe just for the newsletter. We post blog articles, not as often as we'd like, but once or twice a month at least. Plenty of events and some other meditation recordings that are already available. Those are available. We have some recordings available on the Insight Timer app as well as on YouTube. And of course, we have the usual social media options. So thank you all so much for joining in this solstice celebration. And as I said, I'm happy to just keep this open and allow for conversation. And as part of that, I'm going to stop the live stream now. So for those of you watching on YouTube, thanks. And we're signing off. And everybody on Zoom,